Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, Pakistan. I am going to introduce dynamic personality in Awaz-E-Bahwalpur news channel today. Prof.Dr Ayub Jajja Chairman, Department of English Literature, the Islamia University of Bahawalpur. He is an administrator, teacher and researcher. Today we will discuss personal life, research experience and recently visited the United States of America. Thank you very much, sir, you being here.
Thank you very much, Mohsen, for inviting me here. I'm very happy and pleased to be here.
Welcome to in Awaz-E-Bahwalpur.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here with you.
Sir, I would like to ask what is your daily routine and what do you do in evening? What do you do in evening?
Well, usually Mohsen, I get up very early in the morning and then I go for a walk, usually 1 hour walk it is. Usually is. Then I take my breakfast and then I read for some time. Usually, for example, these days I'm reading Joseph and His Brothers. This is a book by written by Thomas Mann. He is a German writer and he won his Nobel Prize on literature. This is how I start my day. And then I go to the university and take care of the administrative issues in the department and take my classes. Then I return in the evening and again I go for a walk and then then I go to bed early comparatively. So that is my routine.
That's good. My next question, where did you get your education and how the journey of your education?
Well, mainly my education is from Islamia University Bahawalpur. I did my MA from Islamia University Bahawalpur and my PhD as well under the able and competent leadership of our very beloved teacher of teachers, Dr. Khatak Sahib, Zahir Jang Khatak Sahib. I did my PhD from under Dr. Khatak Sahib.
I want to know about Mr. Dr. Khatak.
Well, he did his PhD from America, and Mohsen, I tell you that he has been a wonderful teacher, a great researcher, and a true scholar, a true patriot, and he had true understanding of social, cultural issues as well. So, I mean, he was a really dynamic person and personality, Dr. Khatak Sahib. God bless him with good health and long life.
Sir, your PhD thesis in, please brief.
Well, actually, my PhD thesis was about, the representation of Pakistani politics in Pakistani novel in English. So basically, it was how Pakistani novel in English has responded to Pakistani politics and how it has been represented in Pakistani novel in English. So this is what mainly my thesis is about. And my findings were mainly it's Pakistani novel in English is a bit different from say Western novel because our writers, they do respond to Pakistani politics and politics in general because here in our part of the world, in almost the whole of South Asia, politics impacts the lives of human beings. So this finds reflection and representation in literature, as I have said, in Pakistan novel in English. But in Western novel, we don't see as such. Well, after 9/11, there has been representation of politics and other issues, but otherwise, mainly Western novel hardly responds to politics because their day-to-day politics does not impact the ordinary lives of the human beings. So this is what my thesis was, and my coming back to the findings. So my findings were because here in Pakistan and in South Asia in general, politics impacts the lives of the human beings. So politics finds reflection and representation in literature and also in Pakistani novel in English. So this is what my thesis was all about.
Which novel is your favorite novel?
I would say Anna Karenina is my favorite novel. It's written by Leo Tolstoy. He is a Russian novelist. And another of his novel, War and Peace, is also my favorite. So, I mean, since you have asked me about my favorite novel, so Anna Karenina, I would say, by Leo Tolstoy is my favorite novel.
If I talk about poetry, do you like poetry?
Yes, every human being, I would say, and especially the people who are into literature, they love and like poetry. So I also love and like poetry.
Who is your favorite writer?
Well, again, I would say my favorite writers, I would say, are Leo Tolstoy and Shakespeare. Because, literature is mainly about the representation of different aspects and dimensions of life, like human psychology, like human emotions, feelings, etc. And then literature is actually art. So when I say literature is art, it means, well, the expression and the representation of human feelings and sentiments in the best possible way. This is what literature is all about. And and I find this the best possible representation of human feelings and different aspects of human lives, again, in the writings of Leo Tolstoy and Shakespeare, and especially his lyricism, and especially his power of expression. I mean, wherever you go to Europe, you go to America, you go anywhere in the world, you will find lovers and admirers of Shakespeare. So, I love teaching Shakespeare, and I have many publications on Shakespeare. For example,
Yes.
I can quote few lines from Shakespeare.
Yes, why not?
In Sonnet 116, Shakespeare says, this is how he defines love. He says, love is not love that alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to the remove. Oh no, it's an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. So, I mean,
That's good.
this is one example of poetry. And because, it's the beautiful expression of human feelings and sentiments, So, and naturally, like anyone else, I'm very much attracted towards poetry.
Now, Dr. Saab, we want to know how many research articles published here.
Well, I have more than 25 research publications to my credit, and they all are, published in HEC recognized journals, mainly Y and a few of them in X category, both national and international research journals. And a few of them have been recommended by HEC for different study programs. So I'm very happy to say that many of my publications are recommended by HEC for different study programs.
That's good. How many students in MPhil and PhD in your supervisor?
Well, I have supervised more than almost 60, 70 MPhil scholars, and there are 5, 6 PhD scholars under my supervision. One has already passed and got his degree of PhD, and one scholar has submitted his PhD thesis, and one more is in the pipeline, and she is to submit her PhD thesis soon.
That's good. When did you join the Islamic University of Bahawalpur?
Well, it has been a long story. I joined Islamic University as a young faculty member in March 1987. So it has been almost more than 30 maybe 35 years around. I have been here in university as faculty member.
How many conferences conduct in English department?
Well, we have arranged and conducted and participated in a number of conferences, both national and international, in addition to many seminars, on-site seminars and online seminars and conferences. Especially during COVID, we had many seminars and conferences. And
that's good. Sir, how many times you participated national and international conference?
Well, again, I did participate in a number of conferences at the national and international level.
So your department, how offerings?
Well, our department offers undergrad program. We call it BS in English Literature. and we offer MPhil in English literature and then PhD in English literature. We also offer MA English program at our department. So these are our programs. And Mohsen, I will like to tell you that ours is the largest department in the sense that we have the largest student body, and our enrollment always exceeds any other department in the university. Currently, we are having more than 1,200 students in our department, and our usual intake in all these different several programs is around 300. Around 300 every semester. A new enrollment is around 300 students.
Now I would like to ask how to promote research culture in Pakistan.
Well, you know, universities, and our university especially, has taken the lead. For example, our worthy Vice Chancellor has patronized research culture here. So he has enhanced the incentive to the researchers and to the scholars, and has also funded different research journals, and he is also very appreciative of the individual faculty members and the scholars as well who make their contributions. So my answer to your question is that, well, we need to give incentives to the researchers, and we need to enhance the number of research scholars, and we need to patronize and encourage the students and the faculty members, you know, and this is how we can promote research culture in Pakistan in general, and especially in universities.
How university is going on under the leadership of Professor Engineer Dr. Ahmed Mehmood, Vice Chancellor of Islamia Department?
Well, Mohsen, it's not, what I'm going to say is not idle rhetoric. No, it is not. These are the hard facts. I have been in this university for more than 30 years. I joined as a young faculty member, and I'm a very senior teacher now at the moment. I mean, I have not seen one single Vice Chancellor of the caliber of our worthy Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Ahmed Mehmood. He really is a wonderful person. He is a wonderful administrator. He is a wonderful academician, and, you know, he is a wonderful leader. Before he joined our university as Vice Chancellor, you know, the strength of our student body was only 13,000. Only 13,000. This semester, we would be touching this high mark of 50,000 students in our university in all these programs and all these campuses. So, I mean, it's a remarkable achievement and accomplishment, you know, having 50,000 students in our university. So, I mean, that is going to be the highest ever under any administration. So, that is one thing. Second is that he has taken, I mean, the welfare and the well-being of the faculty and the students and the employees is very dear to our Vice Chancellor. So I would not be exaggerating if I say that the faculty and the students and the employees, they find the working environment, you know, the most conducive and the favorable. So I mean, they are not distracted to any other side issues and anything that disturbs them. I mean, we are having the best environment under the able leadership of our worthy Vice Chancellor. And then, you know, this growth, it is a phenomenal growth, you know, in multiple directions. For example, at the moment, you know, the projects worth billions of rupees are underway. The construction of hostels and the faculty buildings, and, you know, many other buildings, you know, that's going on. And then, you know, the number of faculty has enhanced from around 200-300 people to more than 1,000 faculty, regular faculty members we have. Then many selection boards were you know, undertaken under the current Vice Chancellor, selection boards for promotions, again, of employees, of officers, of faculty members, and selection boards for the recruitment of new faculty. So, I mean, it has been wonderful. And our university has already attained the status and position of the fourth generation university in Pakistan. And very recently we have figured in the international ranking, and it's a very promising and very, I would say, a wonderful place we have got, So we are registered and we are figured at the national and at the international level both. So I would say, I mean, we are a very lucky university to have Dr. Professor Atar Mahboob as our Vice Chancellor, because all this would not have been possible without Dr. Atar Mahboob as Vice Chancellor. I mean, this is extraordinary, and I speak out of my experience, and my experience is very substantial and very long. So, I mean, he stands apart when we compare him to all previous Vice Chancellors. He stands apart.
That's good.
And his accomplishments and his achievements are unprecedented and unparalleled in all these 30-40 years.
Thank you very much. You brief describe Professor Dr. Engineer Professor Atar Mahboob. My next question: are you hard worker?
Oh yes, everyone should be a hard-working individual, because Mohsen, I tell you, you might have heard people saying that I'm self-made, I'm this and that. But okay, I share with you this fact and this truth, that each one of us is self-made. Every single human being is self-made or self-marred. I mean, you make yourself or you destroy yourself. So it means, well, we don't have, if you ask me, we don't have any other option or choice but to be a hard-working individual, and that makes the difference at the individual level, at the collective level, at the national level. And all these countries and societies who are ahead of us, suppose, the only difference is that they have a larger share of hard-working individuals. So yes, I'm very hard-working individual, and I also share with you our Vice Chancellor is the most hard-working person I have ever seen and I have ever. So that actually makes the difference. We need to be hardworking. That is the trick. That is the way to progress. That is the method. That is the magic. Whatever you choose to call it. So the real difference resides in working hard. And I'm happy and proud to consider myself a very hard-working person. And my message would be for my faculty members and for my students that they need to work very hard.
That's good. Sir, recently you visited United States of America as a tour. How you find USA?
Mohsen, it was a private personal tour actually. My son is doing a postdoc there in America, so I went there to see and meet him. So we all know that, for example, America is a very big country, fine, that the weather there is very fine, climate is fine, so etc. But I would like to share this with you that our country is not behind any other country, including America. That is my takeaway from this my visit to America. And I would like to share with you that we had this cross-country by road tour of almost the whole of America. We traveled throughout America for around 30 days. And my takeaway from this visit is that we are very blessed people. Pakistan is a very beautiful country, we have plains, we have mountains, we have rivers, we have sea, and the people here, Mohsen, I tell you, our people, and especially young people like you yourself are, we have a lot of potential here. Well, I would not say something is missing, but I would say we can always do more hard work, as I previously said. And then I would tell you that we are the best people, we are the best country in the world, I tell you. and I speak this from my different visits to different countries. So yes, it went very well in America. We visited different universities, and again I was always reminded of our university. And again, I'm not exaggerating, Mohsen. Our university is comparable to the best American universities. I visited around 12 universities and their campuses throughout America, including Berkeley and Oregon State University, Colorado State University, Tennessee State University. And I tell you that our campus and our university is comparable to all these campuses in America in, in its beauty, in its maintenance, in the number of students, and in the strength and, the energy level of the faculty members and the potential of our students. So this is what I would like to say about my visit to America.
That's good.
Otherwise, it went very well. It was we had a pleasant stay. We did meet some of our people who are on our different panels of examiners and experts. So I mean, it was very good.
I have same question. I want to know which things important you learned from USA. Kindly share with viewers.
Again, for example, when I was to come back, we visited, that center for this COVID negative test. So, what I'm trying to say is that every single person, for example, the person who was sitting at the desk, who was to supervise this, the person was so diligent and so particular about his duty that he would give instructions, in detail. Then he would see to it. Then, for example, whenever he would say to every single person who would go there, okay, you count, you put this swab, inside your nose, put it there for 3 seconds, and then you twist it 3 times and then count 15. So not only he would give these instructions to us every single time, he would start counting himself from 15, 14, 13. That was very impressive. I mean, this is how they take their duty seriously, very seriously. And this is what I referred to earlier, that if we take our job seriously, then I promise you, we have the best people here, our culture is fine, our country is the best country, and probably we can be at the top if we take our jobs as seriously as people in the developed world, they take their jobs, seriously. So, I mean, that again is my takeaway from this recent visit to America.
How you spend your weekend with family or friends?
With my family and reading mostly. I love reading most.
That's good. That's good.
As I previously said, that at the moment I got this book, Joseph and his brothers, and as probably I told you that Thomas Mann, he took 16 long years to write this book, and it has 1,600 pages, and I have almost gone through this book. And okay, that also reminds me, he is, I mean, I would not say he is the best writer, he is better than Tolstoy or Shakespeare, but he is comparable to these two literary giants, I mean, it's such a pleasure reading his book that I have already covered the whole of it. I mean, 1,500 long pages, and I love reading and I enjoy reading this book. So I enjoy reading in general, but especially this one, Joseph and His Brothers. It's a wonderful book, and the credit of course goes to the writer. And this is what literature is all about. So literature tells you the things in the best possible way so that you derive pleasure and happiness when you read these literary works. That basically makes the difference. That basically is the literariness. That is, when we say this is poetic and this is poetry, because you enjoy reading, you derive pleasure, and that appeals to your aesthetic sense and sensibility.
That's good. Where do you like to go out to eat?
Okay, frankly speaking, I'm not very particular about eating.
Okay.
But I love visiting places which offer, barbecue and things like
Yes.
that. Otherwise, I'm not a big eater, if, as such, but I like vegetables and I like barbecue.
Which is your favorite dish?
My favorite dish is, you know, uh, chicken and potatoes. हम उसको क्या कहते हैं कि
Yes.
आलू और
Aloo. Yes.
chicken and something like that. That is my favorite dish.
Talk about your favorite TV show.
Well, I like talk shows,
Yes.
For example, on BBC, especially, I watch talk shows, especially the Hard Talk by Stephen. I like that. That is my favorite talk show, and that is my favorite TV program.
And next, what kind of music do you like to listen to?
I like Pakistani music and Pakistani singers, especially ghazals, sung by all these celebrated Pakistani singers. So I like listening to music by Pakistani
That's
singers.
My next question: why do you choose to be a professor at university?
Well, again, I would not be exaggerating, it's sheer pleasure, we get paid for Mohsen for reading novel and literature. And when we read novel and literature, you become familiar with different cultures and civilizations and ways of life and ways of living. And you learn about human psychology, as I said previously. So, I mean, this is especially teaching at the English department, this is sheer pleasure and enjoyment. So these were the things that encouraged me to go for this profession. Even my son, who has done his MS in mechanical engineering from Colorado State University, has done his PhD. Now he is doing his postdoc in America. All these main degrees from he wants to go for teaching. So it means probably he might have acquired this from me. I love teaching Mohsen. So my son even has kind of inherited this from me, and he wants to be a teacher one day after all this, education from abroad.
Which is your favorite season, like winter or summer?
Winter, I mean, for people at Bahawalpur, winter is the best season, I would say. Summer, here, especially at Bahawalpur, is, I mean, we understand is a bit tough, kind of.
I want to know about Bahawalpur. What is your point of view?
Bahawalpur is a very beautiful city and very peaceful city. The people here, they are peace-loving and they are very positive-minded people, I would tell you, and they have a lot of potential and they are very keen to expand and grab and expand the opportunities which are present here. And I believe ours is a very wonderful city. People are wonderful here, and it's a middle, moderate-sized city. I mean, with all its facilities and educational, special facilities and institutions, So everything is wonderful about Bahawalpur city. Its people, its culture of peace and hospitality and socialization patterns, etc. And everything is fine. And then it's a very historical old city. I love all these aspects of Bahawalpur city.
If we talk about Pakistan cities, I want to know who is your favorite city in Pakistan?
Well, I would say two cities are my favorite cities. One is, of course, Bahawalpur. The other one is Islamabad. So I love both these cities equally, and both these cities are equally dear to my heart.
When you are traveling, which you explore from traveling? Can you please?
I love looking at the landscape, and Mohsen, we all know that landscape of Pakistan is very beautiful. And you would be surprised to know that almost 20 years back, I walked all the way from the glacier down to Kalam, along river, Kalam River, Swat River, forgive me. So, I mean, all the way from Glacier to Mataltan and then Ushu. It took me more than 3 hours to walk. I love walking, by the way.
Yes.
So I walked alongside this river Swat from Glacier to Kalam, and it took me around 3 hours to reach there. And I have also walked from Naran to Jeel Sefal Muluk, again along the bank of river, So I have been to these different places, and it's a landscape of Pakistan that, attracts me, and, I love landscape of Pakistan. And I love walking, and this is why when we were in San Francisco, so I walked the whole span of this Golden Bridge.
Wonderful.
And we walked the whole span of this bridge, there which is on Colorado River. So I mean, and we also walked to Great Salt Lake in in Kansas City. So I mean, it's the landscape that appeals me.
That's good.
And again, I say that our landscape is the most beautiful landscape in the world. I tell you.
Why not? Do you like desert area?
Yes, and this is why while we were traveling, in Arizona and Nevada. In America, I asked my son to stop somewhere so that I could, touch the cactus trees there. And by the way, those were very huge cactus trees there. And so, I mean, it was Mojave Desert. They call it Mojave Desert.
Yes.
And so, desert has its beauty, its own beauty. Desert has its own beauty, I tell you.
Yes.
So again, I have been to that American Mojave Desert with its cactuses, huge cactuses, I would say. But our desert is more beautiful.
More beautiful. Yes, why not?
So yes, so I'm attracted to the desert as well. So this is why during winter we do visit desert, especially when we have that Jeep rally event in the desert.
In the end of a fantastic interview, what is your last message for your student, for your faculty?
Well, Mohsen, for myself first and for everyone, including my students and my faculty, that we need to work hard.
Yes.
And I promise you that people of Pakistan, they really are brilliant, and they have this potential. And this is what I shared during my visit in America. That Pakistan is for peace, Pakistan is for international interaction, and Pakistanis are very peaceful people, peace-loving. We are a peace-loving country. We are very peaceful, and at the same time, our youth, especially, they have this extraordinary potential. I tell you. There is always a space for improvement, and if we work more hard, I tell you, and then no one can beat us, and we would be at the top, and we would be at the forefront of every single discipline in life, be it technology, be it social sciences, be it anything in life. So my last message is that probably we need to be more hardworking. Not that we are not hardworking, we already are very hardworking, but there is always space for more, doing something more. And then, we inshallah would be at the forefront and at the best place in the world. And well, that is my message.
Thank you very much for giving us a precious time and information from you.
Thank you very much, Mohsen. It has been a pleasure. I really enjoyed being here, and it's a wonderful studio, and I congratulate you at establishing this wonderful studio, and you are representing different aspects of Bahawalpur, its life, its culture, its especially all that is going on inside the educational institution. So I congratulate you, and I'm thankful to you.
Thank you.
Especially for inviting me here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, you're watching an interview. Allah Hafiz, Allah Nigeban, Pakistan, Zindabad.
Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.